Hey guys, welcome back and welcome to yet another video in our little drugstore series here. If you are just finding my channel, hi, my name is Alyssa and we are doing a full week of drugstore videos Monday through Friday because I just felt like it was necessary. There's just so much new drugstore stuff out there that I needed to talk about it. However, today we're not talking about necessarily new stuff. We're just talking about a whole bunch of drugstore stuff that surprised me, basically, that I was not expecting to be this good. I've definitely found some like major gems at the drugstore lately, and I figured I would jump on here and share them with you guys. So if you want to see all of my basically surprisingly good makeup from the drugstore, then just keep watching. Okay, so I feel like this is going to be kind of a long video because I have quite a bit of makeup sitting in front of me. It just, going through my drawers, I just kept finding things that were really good and really surprising, and I had to talk about all of them. So I have two products from almost every category. So sorry about that. If you were expecting this to be like a quick little in and out 5-minute video, it's not going to be, especially with this intro. So let's go ahead and get started, shall we? We will start with foundation. So the first foundation that I want to talk about, I literally just did a review on, and then like the next day I did another video about it, so I'm not going to drone on, but this Covergirl Trublend Matte Made Foundation really just surprised the crap out of me. I was not expecting it to be this amazing. This is one of my like new favorite holy grail must-have foundations, so I had to talk about it because this is amazing. I will link my review down below in case you want to check out that and see my full thoughts and all that. But yeah, love this foundation. Okay, and then the next foundation is actually one that I've also talked about a buttload, way too much, and it is the Wet n Wild MegaCushion foundation with SPF 15. I freaking love this foundation. It is another one that is just like a beautiful, amazing must-have foundation that just, it's one of my go-tos. It really is. It's just the perfect lightweight, light coverage, just everyday foundation that's got a little bit of dew to it, and it just makes my skin look amazing. Like I don't even know how to describe it. Like the first time I put it on, I literally didn't want to take it off because I kept looking in the mirror and I was just like, oh my god, my skin looks amazing. I don't want to take this off. I want my skin to look like this 24/7, you know? It just, it's perfect. So I love this foundation. I would highly recommend it. There's two downsides. One, the shade range is atrocious. I have mine in the lightest shade, which is 106A, which hopefully that numbering means that they're going to add on to it because the shade range is atrocious. I think there's like 8 shades in it. It's awful. And then the second downside is that this lasts for like 4 uses, maybe. Like there's no product in here whatsoever. It says it's half an ounce, but it doesn't last whatsoever. So I am repurchasing it quite often, but it's so beautiful. I save it for those days where I really need to put something on my face, but I don't want to. So I don't use this like every day just to wear foundation. It's more of a, I need to put makeup on because I need to go out and I need to look presentable, but I don't really want to. So this is what I reach for. So I save it for those occasions, and other than that, it just sits in my drawer waiting to hopefully not dry up. Okay, so moving on, I have one concealer to talk about, and that is the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define. I have, again, raved about this product so much that I'm not going to drone on. It is just an amazing full coverage concealer that just looks so beautiful on your under eyes. It's not quite as drying as Tarte Shape Tape. I feel like I said the word Tarte Shape Tape, which you know, everyone raves about, but that was a little too drying for me. It just gets a little too cakey too quickly. I find this one doesn't do it, but it's a very similar feeling on the under eye, and it sets really quickly and it doesn't budge, and it's just all of the pros of Tarte Shape Tape without the dry cakiness of Tarte Shape Tape. So love this. It's just, oh, it's so good. Plus it's like $7. You can't beat it. So next up, I have a couple highlighters to talk about, and the first one is the E.L.F. Cosmetics Moonlit Pearls highlighter. I totally forgot what this is called. This highlighter, I don't know why, but every time I look at this, like I just get this feeling of, you know, if I didn't know how beautiful it was, I would assume that it was crap. Just like the packaging and just how unassuming it is in the pan, it looks like it's basically not even a highlighter. I don't know what it is, but every time I look at it, I'm like, you know, if I wasn't in love with this, I would think it was nothing. But this is just the most beautiful, blinding, wet looking highlight. I'm actually wearing it right now, and it literally is just like a wet strip that just blends into your skin and makes you look so glowy and like intense, but like not in a powdery, weird way, if that makes sense. Like the next one I'm gonna talk about is much more of a like blinding, super unnatural, like she's wearing highlight kind of highlight, but this is just very naturally blinding, and I love it. If you've seen any of my videos, you know that I love that type of highlight where it's blinding but it doesn't look like you're wearing a blinding highlight, and it's one of my favorite things. So the next highlighter that I just mentioned is the Flower Beauty Shimmer and Strobe highlighting palette. Now, I don't usually reach for things like this because I just find that most of them don't work with my skin tone, or they're not great. I don't know why, but drugstore face palettes tend to not work great for me. I don't know if that's just me being crazy or what. I've never found one that really like spoke to me and I loved. But this one, I picked it up because, you know, everyone was raving about it. And these highlighters are, first of all, intensely soft. They're 3 very different shades, but I find that I can make all of them work, especially if I just like mix them together. They're just the most blinding intenseness that I just cannot get enough of. Now, obviously, these are not like an everyday highlight whatsoever, unless, you know, you enjoy that, and then, you know, you do you. But for me personally, this is much more of like a going out, getting fancy type of highlighter. It's really just more of a night out type of highlighter. So but they really surprised me with how intensely beautiful they are. But they are very much of like, girl, you're wearing highlight, and I see it and it's beautiful, but wow, you're wearing highlight. So moving on to blush. The first one I want to talk about is the Makeup Revolution Vivid Baked Blush. Now, I have not heard anybody talk about this. I know people talk about their just like regular powder blushes. Well, I've seen a few people talk about those, but I've never seen anyone even mention these. My husband actually picked this up during the Husband Buys My Makeup Challenge because he was trying to screw me over with like a purple theme. But this is beautiful. It looks really intensely purple in the pan, but because it's that baked formula, it just comes off this super soft, pinky color that I just can't even describe. I'm wearing it right now over top of a Tarte blush. This one in Feisty, which apparently was like an Ipsy exclusive thing. I don't even know what is up with this, but I'm wearing it over top of that right now, and it's such a beautiful, slightly berry color, and it has like a slight sheen to it, so it just gives you a really beautiful, it's very, very, very light glow. This is a very like everyday chic glow, but I just think it's such a beautiful berry color that I really was not expecting. I thought this was gonna be maybe like chalky or intensely pigmented that just looks crazy or something, and it looks beautiful. It's one of my go-to blushes. I was not expecting this whatsoever. And then the other blushes that I want to talk about surprised me because of how cheap they are. And if you've been on my channel for a while, you've heard me talk about these because I talk about them a lot. And they are the LA Girl Just Blushing blushes. So I have 2 shades here in Just Playful and Just Radiant. They have a bunch of shades on the Ulta website, but they actually have more shades on the LA Girl website. So if you're looking at the Ulta ones, you're like, yeah, they're pretty, but I want something different, check out the LA Girl website because they actually have more shades and more like really intense, like bright shades. So just wanted to mention that. But these are so good. These are under $5, I believe. You get a massive pan, and they're just one of the most beautiful blushes I've ever used. They are slightly powdery, but they're incredibly soft. They're pigmented, but they're not super pigmented. So you can see it right there. It's just, this is the just Playful shade, by the way. It's a really interesting formula. It's incredibly soft, like a baby's butt soft, and they blend out so easily, and they're not like super pigmented, so you don't look like a clown that you have to sit there and like buff out your cheeks for like 10 minutes, which I've definitely had to do with some drugstore blushes. So these just blew my socks off. I was not expecting this, and I rave about them constantly because they're just that amazing that I was not expecting it whatsoever. And I wanted to mention, with the shade Just Radiant, it looks kind of crazy because like you look at it up close and it's just covered in gold glitter, but I find that that really doesn't translate. Once you put it on your cheeks, it's right there. Once you put it on your cheeks, it just has a slight sheen to it. Just really, the gold glitter really doesn't translate onto the cheek and like stick. I don't know how they do it, but it looks beautiful once it's on the cheek and blended out. So definitely don't let the crazy looking pan steer you away, because it's so much better than it looks. So I have one bronzer to talk about, and that is the Hard Candy Fox in a Box Party Girl Baked Bronzer. So I have not had a whole lot of luck with the Hard Candy brand. I love one of their palettes and hate, like despise the other one. They're like big $10 palettes. So when I saw these came out, I wasn't super expecting much. I wasn't really expecting much. I just figured they'd be dry and chalky and not great. I don't know why I have that stigma that like drugstore face products are dry and chalky, but for some reason that's where my mind automatically goes. But this surprised the crap out of me. I actually need to get the rest in the range because I'm really interested in like the blushes and whatnot. They all have different scents, which I love. This is obviously supposed to be a play on the Benefit Box blushes, but this one smells like chocolate and it smells so good. It actually smells like hot chocolate, like when you freshly make it. So this bronzer is such a beautiful shade for fair people. If you have trouble with bronzers looking crazy on you, if you know most of them tend to turn very like orange, then you might want to check this one out because it's got this really cool like reddish undertone that I find with my fair skin just makes it look super natural. Because I know personally when I go out in the sun, I tend to turn more red rather than like golden or bronzed. So I don't want a bronzer that's going to turn me orange or that like typical bronze, because that's not what my skin naturally does. So I find that this bronzer just looks so natural on the skin just because of that little bit of a pink undertone. It just blew my socks off. It's one of my most reach for bronzers. I will say that it is fairly powdery and fairly pigmented, so definitely go in with a light hand and tap off the excess off your brush and then go in. But it's such a smooth baked powder that it just glides over the skin, blends out effortlessly, and just looks beautiful on the skin. So highly recommend you check this out because I was not expecting it whatsoever. Okay, we're getting down to the end here. I have two eyeshadow palettes to talk about, and they're the same like line, and it's the new Milani palettes that just recently launched. I'm trying to like show you without blinding you in this light. It's kind of impossible. So I have the Bold Obsessions and the Most Loved Mattes here. These, oh my god, I was not expecting this. These are beautiful. First of all, this packaging is a really nice heavy duty plastic with a massive mirror on both of them. You get you get 12 shades in each. This one is a mix of mattes and shimmers. This one is all mattes. This one leans a little more cool tone, but still kind of warm tone. This one's like real warm tone. These palettes, everyone talks about how surprised they were because they were surprising. I was not expecting these to be such high quality. Like, I like this formula better than most of my high-end formulas. They just apply so well to the eyes. The shimmers are legitimately like butter. The mattes are super soft and blendable. I mean, this red shade I am dying for Christmas to come back around to do a look with that red shade, because I think it's I can't even speak. I'm just going full home improvement. Personally, I tend to reach for this one, the Most Loved Mattes, just because, you know, I'm a matte kind of girl. But they're both so beautiful. I can't say that enough. I know I've said it like 12 times, but they knocked my socks off. And they are cheaper at Walmart. So if you can find them at Walmart, they're only $15, whereas if you have to buy them online at their website, they're $20, plus you have to pay shipping. So definitely check your local Walmarts before you go and try and buy them online, because, I mean, they're worth $20, don't get me wrong, but, I mean, if you can save a little money, you might as well. Okay, and last but certainly not least, we have lip products. So the first one I want to talk about is the Milani lipsticks. I still have no idea what these are called. It's the ones in like the gold tube with the clear bottom so you can see the color. I will link them down. I'll link everything down below, but I will link this down below so you can kind of know what the heck they're called, because I forget every single time. But I have mine in the shade Rose Femme. These are some of the creamiest, like, butter lipsticks that I've ever tried. And they just like glide onto the skin in such a beautiful, pigmented, creamy way. They have a really nice like creamy sheen to them, so they're not totally matte, which I love. It makes them so comfortable. It doesn't help with longevity, but I would rather have to reapply rather than have something that's like really dry and cakey on my lips. So this particular one is one of my most reached for lipsticks, because it is just so creamy and easy to wear and easy to throw on. They're so nice. I highly recommend them. I need to pick up more shades in this line because I really do just love it. And then the last product that I want to talk about really surprised me, because y'all know I am just over the liquid lipstick trend. Like, I'm done with it. I'm not interested in it anymore. And so when I saw that Physicians Formula came out with these liquid lipsticks, I was just like, nah, I'm good. Like, I kept looking at them, I'm like, yeah, they look really pretty and people really like them, but liquid lipsticks, like, they're just gonna be another dry, nasty liquid lipstick that I hate. But I finally ended up picking up one of them because I had like a 50% off coupon for their website and I needed to get to a certain amount, so I threw this in my cart. This is the Healthy Lip Velvet Finish lipstick in all natural nude. This is not a liquid lipstick whatsoever. This is like a liquid cream that just sits on your lips and doesn't really dry down, but it does dry down, but it doesn't feel like it dries down. It's a very confusing product. So I love the packaging. It's beautiful. It reminds me of a Dior lipstick that I have that's like this similar type of packaging, but not really, because that one's circular. But I don't know why, but it reminds me so much of that, and I keep looking over there because it's sitting over there. It's late at night. I'm sorry if I'm sounding crazy at all. So it's got a really cool pointed doe foot that really helps to like outline your lines. Like I said, it's late at night. It really helps to outline your lips so you don't have to go in with a lip liner before or after. First of all, you get full pigment on one swipe. Like, you don't have to sit there and build it up and deal with like patchiness or anything like that. And it just, the way it sits on your lips, you forget it's even there. With a regular lipstick, they're usually more like a thick cream type of formula, so even though they're comfortable, you kind of are aware of them. I put this on and literally forgot it even existed. It just felt like my lips, like just my bare lips that I could just walk around and do anything with. That sounded weird. That I could just like eat and drink with, and I wouldn't mess it up because it disappeared. And it stayed on all day long. By the end of the day, my lips still looked perfect. I don't understand it, but I need every color. And I just saw who was it? It was a hashtag FabLife, I think is her like username. She used the red in this in her recent Get Ready With Me. Y'all, I need that in my life like today. Like right now, I need to go to Walmart and pick it up because that red shade was beautiful. So this surprised the crap out of me because it is not a liquid lipstick and I love it. Okay, so those are all of the products from the drugstore that really surprised me that I thought were gonna be total crap and weren't. So I hope you guys liked today's video. Leave me a comment down below letting me know if there's any drugstore makeup that really surprised you that you think I need to check out, because I'm always in the market for new, amazing, good products, you know? So other than that, please subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll catch you guys in the next video for the rest of drugstore week. Bye!